people. I want to share with you something today about why healing the subconscious is so important, at least from my perspective. And what I see is that the people I work with, mostly when they come to me, the moment they come to me, they just started to have some awareness around specific patterns that are coming back in their life for the last couple of years. Like some patterns in like relationships that are playing out, some patterns in relationship to themselves, in like feeling unworthy, feeling disconnected with themselves, having struggled with one of their parents, having struggled in relationships, and that keeps on coming back. So they are aware of some triggers, they are aware of patterns, but they're still struggling with like, why is this coming back in my life? Why am I attracting this all the time? And why don't I know how to get rid of it? Why don't I know how to like heal this or release it? And that, for me, is so important about healing subconscious and unresolved trauma, because if we have unresolved trauma within our system, within our body, because trauma always is stored within our body, our cells always remember. And that is because we are not aware of it anymore. But the body or the emotions or the mind still knows what happened back then, even on a subconscious level. But we can't access the subconsciousness so easy if we go through daily life and are a lot in our head and thinking and doing. And the moment we really like stop and slow down and start to listen to our body, what I do is I take people back to the root of their pattern, to the root of their trigger. So we can go back to the root of the trauma, the root of your problem, so we can see what was happening there, what was created there that you were so scared maybe to even remember in your consciousness of today. What was so scary, what was so unsafe for you, that you had to block it, that you had to dissociate and go out of your body. Because if we dissociate, we getting disconnected with ourselves, with our body, with our emotions. And then the mind sometimes becomes a really safe place to be. And the moment we go back to the root of the trauma and we make the unconscious conscious, that already is most of the time, for the people I work with, and for myself as well, a big relief. Because if I understand, if I feel and I have the courage and I feel that it's safe to go there and to uncover what happened back then, I start to understand it, that gives a relief. And from there we can heal, we can let go, we can nurture ourselves with everything that we needed back then in the moment it wasn't safe, or in the moment we had to survive. Because we as children especially, many times if something happened to us on a subconscious level, if it was too scary, or if we were even too young, if, for example, if we were a baby and we picked up some energies, we internalized energies from our parents that are not ours, we don't even understand, we don't have the brain developed yet, that we can understand that we can do it different, that this is not ours, that we don't need to dissociate, or that we are experiencing something and we do have a choice, because we don't most of the time as children, because we still need our parents, we are relying on our parents, and that sometimes create also internal conflict within ourselves, like we actually maybe want to leave a situation, but if we can, because we're too young and we have to stay, it creates a lot of conflict and confusion unconsciously also. So making the unconscious subconscious, making your unconscious trauma conscious, bringing awareness to it, creates already a big breakthrough, I can say. Because the moment you have like, that's where it started, that's where I dissociated, that's where I blocked my feelings, that's where I felt so unsafe that I can't even remember it in my daily life now. So that's what I want to share about for me, what the importance is of creating awareness around subconscious trauma. Because the moment we create more awareness around it, that part can come to the surface and can be seen, can be felt, can be expressed, can be embraced, and finally it can move, like energy-wise, it can move through you and it becomes conscious. And then next time in your life, you will do things different because you started to understand, it started to make sense why things were happening before until you weren't conscious about it yet. So I'm just curious if you are like experiencing some patterns in your life that you completely don't know, have no clue, why is this happening to me all the time? Mostly when you're asking yourself that question, it's because there's something unconsciously playing out. Some unconscious trauma, some unconscious mechanism that you probably created and needed back then, but don't need actually now anymore, but it's still running the show. So I just wanted to share this with you, to create some awareness around subconscious trauma, and also how important it can be and how valuable it can be to create this awareness around things that are happening in your subconsciousness. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how this lands for you, and if it makes sense, if it maybe may already create some awareness for you around things that are happening in your life right now. I would love to hear that, and I'm also sending you so much love. Thank you for being here, and I wish you a beautiful day. Bye.